optimize it and the things to look at. If people ask me, like, what's the one thing I should do if I'm not going to do anything else? I'd say set up a Google business profile, especially as a realtor. That's how people find you. But before that, does anybody have any questions about what's going on with AI or anything like that? What tool you should be using? How you should enter the game if you haven't done it yet? That's my life. I live in AI. So if you have any questions, definitely we can chat about that. If not, I'll just jump right into Google Business Profile.
Yeah, I know. I've been jumping real quick, Eric. I know we had a conversation last night. One of the challenges, I think, with things like tech, AI, digital marketing, even real estate in general, right? It's pretty set in stone. It's like basic things that you kind of cover over and over and over again. And the reality is, as this offers out, AI and tech is kind of the same thing. So, what are some of the things that you guys are looking for that we can cover? Because we do go over these meetings, every month, that you can implement in your business. Like, what are you guys looking for to have that you need? Because he's like at a very, very high level, like Mount Everest level. And obviously it can go from A to Z, but as far as like putting something together to implement, what works for you guys. So yeah, that was kind of the thing as well. Like, what do you guys want to talk about? Because it's like maybe repetitive stuff every month. But anyways, yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. Just like that's what we were talking about. Like, I don't want to sound like Tom Ferry every time I jump on these calls, because I'm actually in the weeds. What I do for a living is making this all happen for people, right? So any questions, I'm definitely open to answer that. I love talking about it, but I'll just jump into, this whole Google business profile. I got a quick presentation I made over here, and so we can see that there. So Google business profile. So let's just walk through, like, why does it matter? And like I said, I know everybody has some semblance of this and probably some understanding of it. So hopefully I'll fill in any gaps and maybe get you down the road because one thing I see is it's not necessarily a managed resource. Like, people will set it up and then it just kind of runs, right? And you don't really do anything with it. But you can manage this like like you do Instagram and Facebook, and you're always posting to it. And I'm going to show you kind of how you can automate it too. You can automate your Google business profile posting relatively inexpensively, and the impact it will be huge for you. So yeah, 84% of people go to Google to search for real estate. Even with AI, with YouTube, it's one thing that I think is going to continue, right? I don't think people, maybe eventually, but the way ChatGPT works, people are searching that more for information. They might be searching market data, but if they're looking for a realtor, they're going to use Google primarily, right? There's Bing, and then there's the other search engines, and this applies to that as well. But I think Google is really, still the focus. The Google business profile, it's free, right? People search, the map pack shows up. So if you have your profile right, you're going to show up in that little map of your niche area that you're working out of. And then the review aspect of it is huge. Once you get your profile set up and running and you're comfortable with it, reach out to people and get that filled. You really, to be competitive, you need to be in the 40 to 50 range on reviews. And that doesn't have to be transactions. That can definitely, basically what I say is just don't let the reviews be a bunch of people with your same last name. But just get some reviews, right? It builds authority. So kind of setting it up, if you haven't set up your Google business profile, or if you have, these are the things that should be filled. You should fill the entire thing out to optimize it and make it accurate. So if you have any changes, like your office hours, you move offices, change your website, whatever. These are the things that you should focus on. And definitely, if you're going to set your profile up for the first time, bring these things with you before you log in and start to do it, because this is all you're going to need to set that profile up. So to get there, business.google.com. And that's for all of you with a profile and you're not sure what it looks like, or if you want to get in and start, you need a Gmail address or a domain that's registered with Google Workspace. to get in and do this. And, Gmail address is free. Sign up for one of those if you don't have one. And this is where you're going to run through. You're going to set up your service areas, your category, all super important. Professional headshots. I always recommend, just for any of this, get yourself a quick social media photo shoot from a local photographer. Get some good headshots, in different situations and stuff that you can just reuse in social media. It's super valuable. It looks great, especially as a realtor. That's something that you should always have, those professional photos. Then you're gonna list out your services. Are you a buyer's agent? Are you, do you do CMAs? That kind of stuff you're gonna want to have on your profile, so people know what they're getting into when they contact you. Once you get it set up, then you're gonna want to post to your profile. Treat it like Instagram. Treat it like Facebook. There's 3 types of posts you can do on your Google Business profile. There's updates. They're out there for about 6 months. You're going to do things like market updates, listings, maybe, talk about buyer broker agreement, anything that's new. You're going to throw that in there. And like this says, if you're not sure, use updates. Just keep continually posting to that. Everybody says the algorithm, right? So how Google decides to choose a website, choose your ad, choose your business profile on a relevant search, it comes down to how alive are you in your Google Business profile. You should be posting to that thing a couple times a week. You should definitely keep it accurate and be responding to your reviews. It doesn't matter good or bad. I mean, it's almost better to get a bad review and respond to it, because it kind of shows who you are and how you handle conflict. And so it doesn't matter if you get a bad review, just handle it, right? Events, this is, obviously where you're going to post your open houses, any kind of time sensitive sort of thing. Keep your events going. Then offers are kind of like your evergreen things that you do, right? If you offer a CMA, put that in there as a service so people can, kind of look through the things you do. Talk about your, if you're a buyer's agent, kind of talk about your process a little bit and your services, so people can resonate with you, so you get kind of clients that way when they're searching for realtors. Here's just some ideas, stuff you can put in there. Market updates, your listings. Kind of talked about it already. Hot tip for you though, if you're posting to Instagram and Facebook all the time, you can use Zapier to just throw those over to your Google Business profile. This is the paid Zapier. It's $20 a month, but I mean, you're hiring an assistant, to keep your Google Business profile going for $20 a month. Pretty valuable, and you will realize that ROI on that. And and even if you jump into the Zapier world, you can actually post to Instagram. You can do so many things automated once you kind of get your hands around it. It's pretty easy to kind of point and click your way through. And then there's always your friend YouTube. If you're having problems, if you're getting stuck. I use Zapier all the time. It's just so easy. So check out Zapier. You can go in when you log into Zapier the first time, and there's like an AI little text box, and you just type out what you want to do. Like, I want to automatically post my Instagram, reels over to Google Business, and it'll tell you exactly the zaps that you need. You can click in them, and you basically log into Instagram through the zap. You log into your Google Business profile, and then there's little tasks that you can tell it to do, and then you test it and see how it worked, right? And if it didn't work, big deal, delete it, try it again. But I would think about that. Even if you don't think you're tech savvy, I think you could probably figure out Zapier and just kind of get this stuff going automatically. And again, here's a posting strategy for Google Business. And I'll guarantee, I'd be surprised if anyone's doing this. I would love to hear from you. Put your hand up or whatever, but 2 to 3 posts a week in your Google Business profile. That, I don't think most people realize that. It is. It's like Instagram. You have to, keep that thing alive. And like I just showed you, you can automate it because everybody's probably posting to Instagram anyways. So push it over. Next thing to do, if I mean, even out in front of creating the Google business profile the first time, or if you have one and you kind of want to see how you show up, it's kind of cool. You just, and then this is free too. This is just a quick little competitor analysis and just kind of an idea of what you look like out there to a prospective buyer, prospective seller, or even your competition if they're kind of wondering what you're all about. You know, if you go into as a buyer to a listing and the seller looks back at you to see who you are, because obviously, you know, they do that. You know, I always do that when I have a listing. You want to make sure you don't have a flaky agent. You want to see what they're up to. So this is how you go about that. And the best way to do this type of research is to use a private window. Like on Firefox, it's called private window. In Chrome, I forget what it's called. It's called incognito window in Chrome. And what that does is it brings you up without any search history. You're totally anonymous. So especially as a realtor, you don't want to bring up your regular Chrome session to do this type of research, because it's going to bring in all of the searching and all of the things that you do, and it's going to try to tune the, you know, obviously the session to you. And you're already looking at all that stuff, so it's going to be confusing. You want somebody, what it looks like when somebody just cold comes in and hits your market and searches your market, just to see really what the competition's doing. So, you know, kind of over here in my area, I did a search, realtor near me, and you know, you can do this. Just look at who shows up, and think of all the different things you can search. You know, what a buyer would search, what a seller would search, and kind of play around with it and get an idea of what other people are doing and how other people show up. And that'll lead you to kind of, if you look at their business profiles, it'll give you an idea of why they showed up, and you know, replicate it, and you'll show up with them as well. That goes for your website, that goes for your social media. Like, always do competitor research, and with information that you know your target audience is searching, right? Realtor near me. Think of all the iterations of that. So right here you can see you got your sponsored, Google screened people are going to show up. Getting Google screened is kind of a process of proving who you are, your credentials. You're going to have to show your license, and there's a background check with it. So it costs money, but obviously, you know, it works if you're going to do it, especially if you don't, especially in your market, if there's only a few agents that you're competing with in your market. Definitely you're going to get a leg up on them by getting screened. Just so something to look at. You know, the sponsored are always going to show up first, and then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see people that are, you know, showing up organically based on how they manage their profile. And, you know, right here you got the brokerages. You can click in and kind of see what they're doing, what their posts look like, services they're posting, all that kind of stuff, to maybe give you some ideas. Another cool thing, on the lines of target audience and what your target audience is searching. So when you search that, Google's always going to say, what else do people ask that search that? So this will lead you to the things you should be posting in social media and on your Google business profile. You know, what percentage do most realtors take, right? That's obviously everyone's going to ask that. Why not get out in front of that and maybe not talk about the percentage that you want, but talk about your value and why that makes sense and why that's better than doing a FSBO. You know, that kind of stuff. Like, just get out in front of these questions, because if this is up here, that means people are, like, in quantity are searching this, that are also searching realtor, you know, near me. So you're kind of getting an idea of what your target audience is doing. And, you know, that's for anything. And, you know, here's another one, like, who showed up for this. And different people will show up based on your area. So this one's Kailua. This one's going to be Honolulu. And you get the idea. Just mess around with it. And it's going to go a long way for you, you know, definitely. Next thing, your reviews. I kind of alluded to that. If you go into business.google.com, you sign in, go to customers and reviews. There's a URL there that you can use, and, you know, maybe blast your sphere with an email that has that from your CRM, that has that link, and that'll easily make it so they can click through and give you a review. If you text it to people, obviously it's quick. It's on their mobile. They'll click it. They're probably already logged into Google in some capacity. So they'll be able to give you a review, and it won't take them very long. So grab that link and get it out there and start getting those reviews. It's valuable. It's, actually, if you don't do anything else in your Google business profile besides fill it out completely, do your reviews, get people to review you, because you can use it. There's so many ways you can use your reviews. You can screen capture them in your Instagram posts. You can have a little scrolling thing on your website that shows your reviews. And then the scroll too, you can tell it to only, it's called Trustpilot. It's a widget for your website. You can use it on KV Core, and you can tell it not to post anything under a 3 or whatever. So you're not going to get, if someone pops you with a bad review, it won't show up on your website. Anyhow, that's just an idea. Get all these things into play and get your Google business profile, up and running and optimized and maintain it. And like I said, if this is the only thing you do, it's highly effective out of all the other things, that you do to try to, have outreach. If you're just like kind of limited and only have to pick a couple of things, definitely this, and get into, all your EXP agents, get into KV Core, set that thing up, make sure you have a drip campaign running, nurture your sphere, all that kind of stuff. That's what I got for you on Google Business. Any questions?
I actually got a couple real quick, Eric.
All right.
Back up there when you're talking about updating constantly your Google, and that people are using Instagram and stuff, your social media, that automatically transfers over to update your Google page?
It does. As a post. Yeah. So, yeah, Annie, go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't even think about Google. Jeez.
I know, right?
Yeah. But you know what? You're right. Everybody goes to Google and finds out, if they want to look for a restaurant or any kind of resources. So that's great. And I was wondering, like, would you be able to control like the reviews or anything? Or no? So
Yeah,
it's
you can't.
Yeah, and I think that's why people are scared, because
yeah, it's true. I know.
Because Yelp, you can control it now. Before you couldn't, and then some other places. But yeah, I mean that's just like working in a hotel. Yeah,
you can look at it. I mean, you can. I don't know. Once you get kind of used to it, and you've been doing it for a while, I don't know. Yeah, I think you can weather those bad reviews if you get, because, yeah, I mean, you get bad reviews, people are pissed off and they want to target you, but there's also, remember, there's no bad publicity, and it gives you an opportunity to show how you handle conflict.
Yeah. I'm not scared of like that. I'm used to it. I used to be a hotel assistant manager. All I got was complaints. Like that.
That's the worst of the worst right there.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. That's all day long I'm doing it. So could we get like a copy of your presentation?
Yeah, I'll say it's a PDF. I'll email it over to Chris, and he can put it wherever.
Yeah, this is all recorded, so they'll put it in the Team Freedom YouTube page, on the Team Freedom Facebook, and then the link to his PDF will be attached in the comments usually.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I had one other question too about the screening. You saw agents are screening themselves to validate themselves, but also saw the brokerage. Can brokerages actually do screening to make themselves validated?
Yeah, I think it's the broker that would have to do it.
Okay.
It's not, like I'm sure, like Caldwell, right? I don't know if if Caldwell somehow Google verified theirself or screened themselves. I'm not convinced a broker could use that, right? I don't think they could. You'd have to do it yourself. So it'd be more like the broker, right? Back when I owned a brokerage, my wife would have had to go through the screening process, because it actually looks at your license and your insurance when you go through it.
Gotcha.
And
just looking at it as far as like you said, you Googled basically, realtor near me, and all of a sudden it popped up the individual realtors, but also popped up a brokerage. It really could give some validation in the market space when people are Googling, like, oh, okay, right. So yeah, thought.
And all that is like the brokerage, when you see that, that's an individual just like you that went in and logged in and created a Google business profile, and just the name they typed in was that instead of, Chris Okamura Realtor or whatever, right? So that's the only distinguishing factor.
Okay, so businesses we need to create a Google business page here for EXP in Hawaii.
So I have a question, Eric. What is the top 3 sites that buyers or sellers will look at, you think, to interview on the internet?
I mean, if it's a buyer, you're going to have the big ones hit, like Zillow, Realtor, House, or those guys are just really hard to compete with as far as website goes. But the beauty of a Google business profile that's well maintained is that you're going to show up with that, right? So like if I hop over here to Realtor near me, you got Realtor as the websites, Yelp, Realtor, Zillow. But look at what's up top. It's the Google screen, and they call it the map pack. And that's just all they did was set up a Google business profile to show up. And if you set your website on that, right, and people click through it, especially, you have KV Core, you have searches, you have everything that Zillow provides. So you have a high chance that you're going to have a conversion, a lead off of your Google business profile. I know I probably over answered that question, and hopefully let me know if you need me to.
I mean, I get it. A lot of clients, they need to look at your resume. They're not asking you for a written one, so they're searching for one.
They're going to look for you, yeah.
So you have to like make it easy for them to find you.
Yeah. Another thing that just came to mind is, and I see a lot of real estate agents, because they never came up through the corporate world, they don't maintain their LinkedIn. Maintain your LinkedIn profile, because people in corporate that are looking for a house, and they're going to look at you on LinkedIn. People with money look on LinkedIn at people. That's your resume. Treat that like your resume.
Do you know if there's like someone that like maintains all of this that you could hire?
You're looking at him.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. What are you?
No, I do. I do this. I have programs kind of like where I help you out with that. Yeah, reach out if you want. Go. Let me go into the chat. My website is the Marketing Systems Collective.com. And there's a quick little 30-minute chat you can hit me up with, or just search my name on Google. Yeah, I'll come up.
Real quick for me, Sasha had a hand up, and Peter.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sasha.
Okay, Sasha. Oh, Sasha dropped out, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Peter.
here.
Peter.
Okay.
Oh, she's there.
Okay. So first, thank you for the reminder, because I did set this up after EXPCon in 2022, and I got it all SEO'd, but I didn't realize I needed to be updating it and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I still got the old address on there now that I'm thinking about it. And then I didn't also realize that we should be posting to it like we're doing Facebook and stuff. So that was interesting. And then I just what was my question? Oh, would you would you recommend doing this SEO for like other search engines like Yahoo or?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the numbers, Google is the one to focus on, but you can get into you can do that kind of stuff on Bing. I think would be the next one.
Bing.
Yeah. I honestly don't worry about it, because you really show up anyhow, but
and everybody's like, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned maps. Should we be interacting with maps? Because we got somebody on our team that's like, she calls herself the undercover agent and she really doesn't do any business, but she's just like adamant about freaking posting on maps and stuff like that. And like, can that help us or what?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about Google Maps, your little point on the map is basically a link back to your Google business profile.
No, but she like posts everywhere she goes, even in and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. I haven't really. I wouldn't do that, but
I was just
wouldn't do
wondering
that,
if
no.
there was any kind of like if that was like something I should be putting time into. Like,
know
will
I
they
wouldn't.
find us if we're leaving Google reviews all over the place too, like that? You know, like how you like review a place and then
Yeah.
because I was thinking maybe if that would the only way I would think that would be a good thing is if I'm reviewing it and being like, oh, by the way, if you want a house, you know,
Yeah.
or something like, why would I don't know? I just
if you show up, it's like community involvement is part of being in real estate, right? So if you're giving good reviews and you know, supporting your community, I mean, maybe that, but outside of that, I don't, I would focus more on posting what you're doing on your Google business profile and people will find you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Peter, I got real quick. What do you got, man?
Yeah. So, initially when I set my business profile up, where I was trying to set it up, they kind of like flagged me thinking that wasn't a real business. And I don't know if you might have covered that. I was driving through the gulches.
No, I haven't covered it.
So yeah, they flagged me and I tried to repeal it and they still didn't think I was real. And then, so I don't know if you have any recommendations for that.
Man, you just got to keep trying. Yeah. I mean, I've got, first of all, you have to be careful when you're updating your profile. You just have to keep appealing it and reach out to Google. But I mean, it's tough. You're in a tough spot, and you just have to make the decision. Are you just going to create a new profile? And maybe, I don't know how many reviews you have and how worth it is to pursue it. But if you have like 50 reviews, I would pursue it. But if you have like 3 or 4 reviews, just make a new profile and tell your people to go re-review you.
Okay. So, but is there something I initially might have done to flag it, or
Yeah, it's so like it's like a hair trigger. Like I don't quite understand it, and I don't think a lot of people do, because it's the determination doesn't make sense. It seems like such a minor thing, and they'll wipe you out, and getting it back is nearly impossible. They just don't care. So yeah, that's the downside to Google Business. It's like you should really set it up and then just don't touch it ever again. Even if your business changes, don't change those type of fields, because it just doesn't make sense, and it's AI causing the trigger to suspend you. And man, it'd be easier to get off of a murder case when there's a video of you doing the murder, I think, than to get your Google business profile back.
Well, thankfully, I guess I don't have any reviews on it, so I'm just going to create a new one. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, create a new one.
Yeah, all right.
I'm not sure if you use the same phone number or whatever. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I haven't had to do it in a while. It's been a while since I got suspended like that, but I'd remember the feeling and that it sucks.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, cool. I got to jump off here. I got an 8:30 call I got to jump on. But I'll get that info over to Chris, and feel free to reach out. Hit me up if you got any questions.
Awesome.
I'm
Thanks,
here
Erick.
for you.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks a lot for your insight on our no BS marketing for 2025, everybody. Awesome.
Right.
Yep, it'll be on the YouTube page for Team Freedom and also the Facebook page. It'll be put out, and so you'll get this in a recorded version of it, and it also has all the PDF stuff you'll lay out in there as well. So awesome, guys. Have a great, amazing week. Go crush it. Love you all. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Have a good one. Aloha.
Yeah.